This is how I got 1,000 YouTube subscribers. So let's go. So sort of the origin story of how I got 1,000 YouTube subscribers is a lot of different video ideas. So when I first started YouTube a wee while ago, I started with YouTube covers. And at that point, I was sort of casual about YouTube and it was just in the back of my mind, but not anything that I'm sort of serious. I did YouTube covers for a bit. I enjoyed them. And it wasn't like I was necessarily a bad singer. I just found that after a while, it wasn't sustainable. One, it didn't do as well in the algorithm for me personally, and I didn't truly enjoy it. I was a decent singer, to be frank, but I don't know, I just didn't want to do it. So I decided that in order to look out for the channel in terms of wanting what's best for it and doing something that I'd want to do all the time, I think I had to pivot. So I decided to start doing the vlogs. When I started doing vlogs, I was just using my cell phone and stuff like that. And then I would do that every once in a while. But I think being super busy, it didn't allow me to have the flexibility to do it as freely as I wanted to. So then I kept doing it and went on from there. So then at this point, I started to take a back seat from YouTube and just sort of vibe with life. But then sort of the whole TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts wave sort of came and bestowed itself upon me. At that point, I realized that, let's just be completely frank here, you do half the amount of work and twice the amount of views and engagement. So it's kind of a no-brainer for me to venture more into Shorts because it's pretty lucrative and more beneficial for progression of my channel, right? What I did was switch over to Shorts and sort of kind of did the same thing for a little bit. I did vlogs, but via the Shorts way. And it's a lot easier because you can make it like a 30-second vlog, just squeeze it in and then all is good. And what I would do, and I'm still doing that right now, is diversify amongst TikTok, which I don't do as successful, but that's just okay, and YouTube Shorts, which I found a lot more traction, obviously. And I would do that for a little while. But the only issue with that is it wasn't nearly as successful and progressive as I wanted it to be. So what do you need to do as creators? You need to post consistently and pivot when you realize something's not working, right? But you have to also remember to enjoy what you're doing in the meantime, because you're not going to be getting paid for a while. And in order to do something, you must first and primarily be happy about it and enjoy it. So I decided to pivot and found that I made a few videos in regards to scenery. So I'd be like, this is by far one of the nicest views in all of Calgary, Alberta. And I would just show a landscape or a portrait view of a specific area. And I did that sort of video for a bit. I think it was in 23 or 24. And I found that via Shorts and TikTok, that was getting more traction. I did that method for a bit. And I had this video from LA of me trying coffee in like Beverly Hills, like a world-renowned vanilla ice latte spot. Posted the video kind of like how I do my food shorts now. And I noticed like an abnormally amount of traction. So obviously what do you do as a creator? You pivot, because you have to do what's best for your channel. And that's exactly what I did. And that's pretty much how I started doing food YouTube shorts. And over the course of about a year or two, I've been finding specific areas or tweaks that can upgrade the channel in very specific ways. So I just start to implement them a bit more. I would add prices, locations, and whether I would make it super fast, super slow. It's all very intentional. And that's one thing for sure that people don't realize, that everything is extremely intentional and done on purpose. And now we're sort of at where we are today. I post very consistently, pretty much daily, on my food review shorts. By the way, I just edit via CapCut and then I post instantaneously on both platforms. Essentially what I do is edit them, make the short, post it, and then whether or not that video doesn't do well or does well, it's not really about that. It's about the consistency. I'll make that post, look in the algorithm, be like, okay, so it's performing like this, and then just move on and post consistently day after day and kind of sort of see what happens with that. And so I've done that for quite a while now. And in the projection of all that, I ended up getting 1,000 YouTube subscribers. And there isn't exactly a secret as to how you yourself can get 1,000 YouTube subscribers. It just comes down to video creation in the first place. So what you need to do is, as soon as possible, make any video whatsoever. And inevitably it's going to do bad unless you're Mr. Beast's manager. But afterwards, you post. You check the algorithm to see if that method does successfully. And if it doesn't, you have to know it in your heart that you need to pivot. And once you find something that sort of works, you post, consistency. And then at that point, you will inevitably obtain 1,000 YouTube subscribers. And on that note, I'm already sort of at a point where I'm probably going to hit 5,000 YouTube subscribers. And my sort of next objective is to simply just sort of get more watch time hours on long form. And to do that, I just need to post more and more, see sort of what works, and then just go on from there. Sort of the same thing. Again, there's no secret. You just find something that works and then you stay very consistent with it. And then you post, you check the algorithm to see how successful one thing does versus another. You test the waters to see if something does or doesn't work, and then you continue to post. But YouTube won't sort of recognize your first few videos because as a new creator, it doesn't know where to shoot it out to. But once you have sort of a niche and something it's sort of familiar with, it'll be able to recognize where it needs to go and sort of shoot things in the right direction. So yeah, I found something that was really good, like food YouTube shorts. Found that this was very sustainable, made me happy, very easy to do, because it's not about like quality of the video at this moment in time. I mean, it can be, obviously it is, but it's about sort of the slow and steady wins the race approach because you're more likely to keep going if you're interested in doing it. And for me personally, if it's easier to do, then I'll probably be more interested in continue to doing it because of how easy it is. All you gotta do is consistently post and sort of see where it takes you, because that's exactly what happened to me. And that's exactly what I'm doing now. Even for my long form videos, I find that I was doing cut comms, didn't work out, covers, didn't work out, vlogs, but the DJI Action 5 Pro really works out because DJI Action 5 Pro in itself is a keyword and people like to search for that. So I'm pivoting while maintaining interest in what I'm creating, and I'm trying to post with enjoyment, but with the success of the algorithm in mind, because that's what it comes down to. Because hopefully by the end of this year, I can monetize and I'll be sorted in my way, because that's exactly what I want to happen, right? That's the main goal. But yeah, excuse me for sounding like a sort of broken record, but all you need to do is post as soon as possible. If it doesn't work out, pivot, look at the algorithm, recognize what works, keep posting consistently. But you have to be happy about it, and you have to accept the fact that you won't be making money for a while, but there's always a potential that you might and will. Keep posting, and the results will come, because more time progresses, these social media platforms will recognize what videos you're starting to post, make sure it's in a specific niche so it recognizes that more, and you will literally inevitably find success. And although I don't have all the answers now, I do have some answers from all my experiences and such. But if I continue to post and I'm not sort of be afraid of staying stagnant in a specific area and keep progressing, then I will find more success. An example of that is me starting to vlog more and me taking action for buying this DJI Action 5 Pro. I wouldn't have done it before, but I took the jump and here I am now. So on that note, I hope this video helps. There isn't a true secret. It's just all about finding what's right and being consistent. So with that being said, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Be on the lookout for more videos in the future, and peace out.